Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with the next 2 days for my December daily, and this is day 13 and 14, and for these two layouts I decided to go with aquas again. And I mean, there's only so many colors that you can use, so you're going to have to recycle the colors over and over again. But I did manage to find some blue colors in my 6x6 pattern papers, and then I also found a few 3x4 cards that I managed to also put on this layout. And I just realized that my sleeve on my right side was rolled up. I think at some point I'm going to take my sweater off anyway. But this morning I was doing some cleaning around the house and I was washing our tub, our whirlpool tub, and for some reason it wasn't draining, so I had to try to fix it. Anyway, all I had to do was unscrew the thing and it worked, but I guess I rolled up my sleeve and then I forgot to unroll it, so I want to apologize for that. It looks kind of funny. But my scrap room in the summertime is super hot, and in the wintertime it's not super cold, but it is kind of coldish. And I did buy myself a little heater, so I just kept my sweater on until the heater started to kind of work. But anyway, my scrap room, by the way, is above the garage, so I think it's not as stabilized as the rest of the house, but I totally still love my scrap room. The temperatures just kind of vary. But let's talk about what I did here. So I cut down each of the pattern paper. I cut 4 of them down to 4x6, and then, like I said, I found some 3x4 cards, and all of the 3x4 were cards that were in my stash. And then I found that other one that says December, and that's where I'm going to put my date. I decided to put another one of those little shakers that I created a few days ago, and because the colors were aqua, I went into my envelope where I found some aqua trees. I kind of taped one tree on top of the other, and I'm going to tape them down inside that page protector because I don't want them to move around. And I also found a little bird, and I kind of taped him sort of like so it looks like he's mid-flight. And then I'm going to add some sequins in 3 colors, some turquoise, some white, and then some light blue. And at this point, I haven't put any pictures into any of my pages, but that concerns me less than actually getting my pages done. I have to say today is December 21st, and I just did page 13 and 14, and I don't think I'll be able to do any more today because we have plans tonight, but that's okay. That as long as I'm taking my pictures every day, then this I'll be able to catch up. My plan is still to have all my pages, my page kits, although I'm prepping the pages, I'm putting down my embellishments. So it's not as if I have to go back and put any kind of embellishments down, like all that will be done. So by the time I put my pictures in, basically I just have to, probably what I'll do is I'll take my Canon selfie, and it's upstairs. And normally when I print 1 or 2 pictures, I just stand beside it and kind of print the pictures. But I think for this, I'll bring it down to my kitchen table and I'll print day by day, and then I'll have envelopes with the days written down on it, and then I'll put the pictures for day 2 in the envelope number 2, and so on and so forth. And then once I start putting pictures into or onto the pages, it'll just be as easy as picking up the envelope and plucking the photos into the little squares. So I'm thinking once I start getting that process done, I can probably get all my pictures done in a couple of days. So that's why I'm mainly focusing on putting my pages together, because that seems to be what's taking the most time. And even at this point, it's taken me I'd say about half an hour per page is what it's averaging right now for me to put a page together. I am putting way less embellishments per page than I did at the beginning. I found at the beginning I was putting a ton of embellishments, which is fine. It takes, a little bit more time. And I'm trying to not put as many places for photos, and in this case I did, because I knew that the weekend of 13th, 14th was the weekend of Mason's hockey tournament, and there's some of those days I have probably 50 pictures that I took that day. So I'm going to have tons of pictures that I can put on these few layouts. Another reason too that I'm a little bit behind is because I think I talked about it on putting my regular page kits together for scrapbooking, but been kind of in a funk this year. It just doesn't feel like Christmas is coming, so I wasn't really almost like in the mood to get Christmas stuff done. And in the last, couple of days, I think that's coming to me a little bit more. So even like getting regular household stuff I just wasn't feeling it. So on Friday, I think I spent, well, first of all, my son wanted to move his room around. And he had a double, and in the spare room we had a queen. So we moved his whole room around, and we moved the queen size bed into his bedroom and stuff like that. So that took us about 4 hours. So that took a bit of my day on Friday. And then tonight we're having a barbecue, and we possibly will have a campfire. I know it's December 21st, but we're still going to have a campfire. Probably won't be staying outside as long as we normally would if it was summertime, but we'll just quickly have a little campfire and have a whole bunch of nummies. So that's what I'm focusing on today. But now I finished day 13. Now I moved on to day 14. And I'll tell you another thing that I'm doing that I'm finding is speeding up putting pages together, because I'm putting 2 pages together at once, and it's the pages that are corresponding, so they're facing each other. When I'm looking for embellishments, when I'm looking for my 3x4 cards and everything to make the pages, I'm pulling stuff for 2 layouts. So when I'm standing there making one layout, as soon as I finish, I stop the recording so that I know that one day is finished, and then I jump on to the second page right away. So that's helping quite a bit. So I think before I move on to getting some of the prep done for our supper tonight, I might go upstairs and choose the colors for the next day and kind of gather all the stuff. And maybe this afternoon, if I finish cooking a little early and before everybody heads on over, maybe I'll have time even to put one of those ready. So it's sort of the same thing, as sort of the same principle as getting my page kits ready. And normally if I would have started my December daily in November, like I did for a few years, that's what I would do. I would just gather up, the 4x6 and the 3x4 card, decide on which configuration I'm going to do that specific day, and just put it all in a big plastic bag. And then once the days start, like the December starts, and I start putting my pages together, then everything is like a page kit. It's all ready, and I start just putting stuff together, and I can put my pictures on at the same time. So I've already decided when I start my planner this year, I'm going to go to like November, probably 10th of next year, and I'm going to put on there, start thinking about December daily, like start putting a kit together, and then maybe on November 15th start putting some page kits together. Because if you start December and you have the first 10 days already ready, like you're ahead of the game because December is so busy. And if you can kind of have your December daily already started, then you'll feel like you're won't feel as rushed, won't feel as every day it's like, okay, I have to do a couple of pages because I'm falling behind. And I totally have the type of personality that if I start a project, I'm really good at finishing, but I need to start it, and I need to not leave a whole bunch of time in between when I work on it. So for example, last year I got the kit ready for December daily, and that's where it stopped. I never continued with it, and I took all the pictures all of December, so I can always go back and get that done if I want to. But because I didn't physically start it, then January starts, and I always have a bunch of stuff that I for scrapbooking that I do in January. I like to scrap my goals. I like to reflect on what my goals were for the previous year and make layouts for that. I like to make bookish goals, and I like to do so. Once I start getting into those, going back and working on something that was from the year before is really hard for me. So it's not something that I will kind of be excited for. So that's why I'm really putting the push on getting this project done before the end of the year. But I'm not too worried. I know that now that I'm doing 2 days at a time, I know I'm not going to be doing anything for probably December 25th and 26th because it's Christmas and we're going to be doing Christmassy things. But after that, we don't have I was going to say we don't have too much planned, but we do have a hockey tournament. But I'll make sure to make time to get at least an hour a day, and I can get 2 days done, and then print my photos and get them into my album. But that's going to complete day 14, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.